Hello, everybody. Welcome from the Port Moody Public Library's Digital and Information Services team. We are here again with another Tech Thursday. I am joined by Virginia. Hello, Virginia.
Hello.
My name is Liz, and today we will present to you a great product that I think you'll find very interesting if you enjoy reading magazines and newspapers. Now, this product is called Press Reader, and you'll be able to access through the library's account a whole variety of different newspapers and magazines across the world. So without further ado, I'll just make a quick comment that we would love to see your comments. So if you're watching live with us, feel free to write down your comments and questions for us. We'd love to see them, and we'll do our best to respond to every single one. If you are watching this as a recording, please still do comment if you wish, and we will definitely get back to you with any concerns or questions that you may have. All right, so I'm going to hand it off to Virginia now, who will tell us what Press Reader is all about.
All right, I'll keep you on the screen for now, Liz, so you can help me out with this. So Press Reader is one of, like Liz said, is one of our apps that we offer at the library. Of course, when it's offered by the library, which means as long as you have a Port Moody Public Library card, you'll be able to use it for free. Now, if you don't have a card, you didn't get one before, you can still get one now. We are offering electronic library cards, so you can just go to our website, fill out the beautiful form that Liz has designed, and then one of our staff members will get back to you with your library card number so that you can enjoy all the stuff that the library has for you, including some of the things that we talked about in the previous weeks. So we had ebooks, we have audiobooks, we have magazines. So if you missed those videos and if you are interested in learning more about it and how it works, please do go back to the Facebook videos under Tech Thursday, and you'll be able to watch all the recordings for that. But today we're going to talk about newspapers. And thank you, Fiona Weston. I believe she was the one who suggested us do a session on Press Reader. So this is for you, Fiona, and everyone else. So what I'm going to do is to share my screen so I can show you what Press Reader look like. Press Reader, by the way, is also, I believe, is a local company. So a shout out to our local company making this happen. It's amazing. It's got newspapers that you can read online from more than 70 countries around the world in multiple languages, lots and lots of choices to choose from. And the nice thing about this is, unlike, of course, all of us can just go to, like, say, Vancouver Sun website, and we can just read the articles on the website. However, what makes Press Reader unique is that it is just like flipping through a real newspaper, because you get the full edition of the paper from front to the back, and you can flip through them just like the real newspapers. So it's formatted in the way that makes you feel like you're reading the real thing rather than just articles, or like some websites will have like paywall. So you like read some of it and they'll be like, oh, you know, you have reached your limit of 10 articles this month and that's it for you, kind of thing. Press Reader is completely free and you got the full editions on there. So it is great. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to switch over to my screen to show you how to access Press Reader on the desktop first, on your computer. And then afterwards, we are going to look at how it works on the app. So on your tablet, on your phone. So the trick, there's a little bit of a trick to connect the two together. And the tricky part, especially today, is that I've recorded a video so to show you all that, but the audio is not probably loud enough. So I'm going to try to remember what I said during that screen tutorial, and hopefully it will make sense to you all. But without further ado, let's get my screen going and we'll look at Press Reader. So I'm going to switch over to my screen now. All right, so Liz, you're looking at my screen, just double checking.
Yep, I can see
yours. All right, so we are on the Port Moody Library website. This is portmoodylibrary.ca. Okay, and that is our address. So all the resources that we have, you can find on our website. Just to let you know too, we have specially put together a library from your living room webpage right now. And if you go there, you'll get a really nice summary of all the different resources that the library has for you that you can access for free from home. And of course, we also have lots of great programs going on, so be sure to check that out. But today we're doing newspapers, so I am going to go under borrow. So just hover your mouse over the word borrow and then go to magazines and newspapers. So I'm going to click on that link and it will take me to the magazines and newspaper page. And so if you go down the page there, somewhere in the middle, you will see the online magazines and newspaper links. And the one that we want today that we'll talk about is this one here called Press Reader. Okay. So what happens is when you are at home, what the computer is going to want to know is that you are a Port Moody Library card holder. So what we'll do is when you click on the link from home, in the first time you do that, during that particular day, what it will do is it will switch over to ask you to put in your library card number and also your PIN number, which is the last 4 digits of your phone number. So put that in, and once you have got verified that you are a Port Moody person, which I've already sort of done, so I'm going to switch over to the screen where you see that it's going to look something like this. Okay, so when you see this screen, then you will know that you have successfully connected with the library. You can see our logo right there, and it also tells you that you have complimentary access, and we'll explain why it's at 2 days and 24 free hours in a bit. But you'll see from right here that you are connected. So when you are browsing through the papers, it will not ask you to pay for them. Of course, this is a pay product so if you want to make sure that you go through the library website and go through that library link, the one that we show you just now over here, to access it. Because or else if you just go to pressreader.com, they won't know that you're from Port Moody and they are going to ask you to pay to read newspapers. All right, so going back here, so now that we're ready, I am going to close this box up by clicking on the X on the top left corner. You can, of course, also start selecting your newspapers from here. There are some suggestions there, but we're going to close it off so you can see sort of the full thing. And I'm also going to click on get rid of these notifications right there at the bottom. The other way you can tell that you're connected to the library is that on the top left corner, you should see the menu bar, a little arrow, the back arrow button, and also a green coffee mug. And if you see this green coffee mug, that means you are connected to the library. Okay, so watch for that. If somehow you're browsing through the papers and it's not working or it's not letting you in, then you want to check and see if you are connected or not. And right now, we are not signed in. This is an optional thing, at least for reading newspapers on the desktop. It's completely optional. You don't have to do this. You don't have to create an account. There are some things you can only do if you have an account, but we'll go through those later. So here we are on the Press Reader main page. So you can see immediately on the left-hand side, we have some suggestions for you to narrow down to what you want to look at. So I would say if you are not really sure what Press Reader has yet, use this left column to browse through the collection, and so you can kind of get a sense of what it is. So you can look at it from countries, so you can see kind of what papers are from different countries and use that to help you limit your search. You can narrow it down by languages, so whatever language paper you would like to read. You can also narrow it down by category. So this will apply a little bit more to magazines. So yes, there are also magazines in Press Reader. It is not just newspapers, you also get magazines, so which is really cool. So you can use the categories to kind of narrow down your magazine choices. And last but not least, you can narrow down by magazines or newspapers. So you can see there's thousands and thousands of choices here. So hopefully that will keep you busy for a while and catch you up on all the news in the world. So those are some ways you can help browse the collection. The 2 buttons here you can see in the middle, newspapers, magazines are the same as the one on the side that we just went through, and Canadian. So if you're looking for Canadian newspapers, Canadian magazines, that might be where you would like to go. On the top here, we also have a search function on the top right corner. So if you know the name of the newspapers you're interested in looking at, you can already do a search right there, which is what we'll do today. And then we'll use that as an example so you can see how the newspaper works. So let's go look at the province. Okay? And as you're typing, you can see the one that matches the words that you type in will show up as suggestions. So they've got the province right there on the right on the top. So I'm going to click on the picture to go to that newspapers. All right, so now I am in the newspapers, in the newspaper view. So you can see here is telling us again that verify that we are in Port Moody's press reader. On the top there is a way for you to select which date you would like. And depending on the newspapers and the magazines, there are different, like sometimes it go back quite a few issues, sometimes it doesn't go back as far. And I was looking at Province earlier, and like it went back pretty far. So you can almost get back to like 2019 if you're wondering what happened on, what are the headlines on November 1st. You can actually go back and take a look at that. So it's really cool. So you can actually look at some back issues. The same functionality to select a date from the calendar is also down here. So you can also use this to figure out what date of the newspapers you would like to read. Okay. And once we're going to stick with today's newspaper. And so what you can do on your computer is just you can either move your mouse all the way to the end there to sort of turn the page, so to speak, to go to the next page, or you can just sort of click and then sort of drag along like this. So you can also do that. So you can see it's the full newspaper with the layouts and everything, just like a real newspaper, which is really quite cool. So that's good. Like, we like to flip newspapers. That's a good one. But, looking at it right now, I'm like, kind of can't quite see what the article is all about. It's a little hard. So why don't we make it a little bigger? So there's a couple of things you can do. So if I put my mouse over any of the headlines, you can see it's a little highlighted. So right now I've got my mouse over the Yaletown's Happy Barber offering virtual haircuts. How do you do a virtual haircut? Anyway, so if you click on the title that, let press reader know, oh, that's the article I want to read, tap on that. Okay, and what it will do, it will turn it into what they call a text view. And you can see that you're in a text view right now because on the left-hand side, it gives you the option to page view and also text view. So you can now see that, oh, okay, so like what they have done is they have formatted each of the article to make it more friendly to read if you're on a computer. So if you want to actually dive into the article, this is a great way to take a look at that. So you can see like everything is a lot easier to read now. In this particular text view, there's also something else you can do with this particular article, and it's all those options are hiding under this three dots that you can see usually right next to the headline. So I'm going to click on that to see what options we have. And so the first thing is to just switch back to the page view. Okay, and then the next option is comments. So if you read an article and you have opinions about it and you have things to say, you can click on comments and to make a comment. That option is only available for people who have created a press reader account. So you do need an account to do that. But like I said, if you're not interested in any of that, you can use press reader without any press reader account. So you don't have to set something up at all. The only thing you would need is sort of the library card. So comments is like that. Save to collection, same thing. If you, again, have an account and if you want to save particular articles or save particular pages, that is the option available here. Listen is a very interesting option, and I hope my audio is going to work now, and Liz could let me know if it's working or not. But listen basically is kind of like turning your newspaper article into an audiobook. So what you can do if I press listen is someone is going to read the paper to me.
Yaletown's Happy Barber offering virtual haircuts. You will read the clippers and the awesome advice and tips online. Harris and Mooney at postmedia.com. Fairs at Salihai wants to give you a haircut almost as badly as you need one. But until circumstances change, the Yaletown barber cannot.
All right, so if you heard that, And I'm going to press done to get out of this listen view. And yes, it is not a professional narrator. It is a robot that does the reading. But, if you just you're busy and your hands are not busy and you just want somebody to read the news to you, that is an option. So it's your personal robot at work. So do take advantage of that if that's something that interests you. Sharing is basically sharing that particular article on a social media, for example. That again require an account. Same with these other ones here, and you can print the article if you like. Another one that we often suggest to people if they want to read an article and they just wanted to be, interested in like knowing like some of the words, maybe they're not familiar with it, and maybe they have another language that they are more familiar with. This is a really kind of a nice option. Again, it is the robot at work behind here, so it's not a person that knows like language and grammar and all that kind of stuff. It is a robot. So every time I press on this, and if I'm showing some of our customers about how this version works, and they often laugh at the translation because it's never quite right. I mean, you get the gist of it, but it is not grammatically correct. So I don't know French, I don't speak French, but maybe you can let us know in the comments how this translation, and you can grade it. But this is sort of like an option that is available, and it could be handy if you are reading newspapers and English may not be your first language. This might be something that you want to take a look at. So I'm going to cancel out of there. I'll let you grade the translation, but I'm going to cancel out of here. So that's some different ways for you to look at the paper. So I'm going to go back to page view. So just click on the left-hand side from text view, switch it back to page view here. Another option, I'm going to see if this works on this browser. Yes, it does. Is that another way to zoom into the article if you still like to stay into this newspaper layout view, so it looks just like the real deal. You can just click on not on the headline, because that will take you to that text view. But if you click on any part of the article itself, you can basically zoom in and zoom out of the article. So if you want to make the text a little bigger so it's a little easier to see, that is an option for you. All right, so I'm going to just click on any part of the article, basically any part of the page, and then that will take me out of that zoom view and zoom back out. All right. At the bottom there, you have a navigation here. So you can use this to jump to your favorite part of your newspaper. So if you only care about homes and design in today's paper, you can do right that. So you can just jump right into that particular section. To get rid of this, just click on anywhere in the newspaper itself, and then that will get rid of the navigation. And you also notice when we bring up the navigation, again, it gives you a preview of what the page looks like. So that also, again, may be a nice way to navigate through the paper itself. All right. So there it is. So I think that's pretty much it for the desktop version of the newspapers. So I am going to go back. And like I said earlier, there are lots and lots of different newspapers in here. We are reading an English one, Canadian newspapers, local paper, but there's a lot more from different countries. So if you want to take a look, we can go back to the news feed. Just click on that back button to go back if you like. Okay. And so, then you can kind of browse through the different things that are available here. The first page here, it might be confusing. These are just articles from various different papers. You can see this is from The Guardian, that's from Ottawa Citizen. So it's different articles from different publications. So that's one way you can look at that. And if I open the menu up, and you can see I'm not signed in. So you can see all of this you can do without creating an account with Press Reader. I'm going to click on publications again and look at like what's available. So under like languages, for example, if you might be interested in, say, Icelandic. Korean, how about Korean? Let's tap on that. And it will show you all the publications, including magazines that are in Korean. So if you want to have a taste of maybe home, something that you read before, and that might be an interesting way. Or if you're learning a language, maybe, this might be something to test your language skills. So something to keep in mind when you are, looking at Press Reader. It's not just to read local papers. You can make use of it, right? Like the audio, for example, might be interesting. I don't think they have Korean audio newspapers. I don't know. I should check that out later, or maybe you can check out and let me know. So that is the desktop version. I am going to go back to my screen here. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And I'm going to switch back to Liz. Liz, did I miss anything?
No, that was really thorough. That was great.
So all the features, I think we'll cover probably. Okay, so we have 9 minutes left. This is the test of Virginia's narrating skill. I'm going to show you the video that we recorded earlier on how you can access Press Reader from your phone or your tablet, because there's an extra step that is there that we need to do when we do that. So I'm going to watch the video along with you and try to explain to you what I did. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to share my screen again. All right, share audio. Okay, so share. All right, so let me go into my desktop and I'm going to play the video and we will enjoy it together. All right, so this is a part of the video. I am on my tablet right now. So here I want to show you how you can access Press Reader on your tablet, on your phone. They're both, you can use an app on Press Reader to read newspapers. But the trick, again, is to make sure that it knows that you're from Port Moody Public Library so that you don't have to pay for the papers. And so here we are on the app. Apparently, I've opened it. I've installed it onto my tablet. So I'm opening the thing, and you can see right now when the screen show up, nothing is not going to give me that coffee cup. It's not going to give me the Port Moody screen. It is nowhere to be seen because they don't know yet that I am a Port Moody person. You would think the tablet should know, but they don't. So what happens is that if I try to read a newspaper, say the Vancouver Sun, for example, and you can see at the bottom there is a see all payment options. Right at the bottom in the gray button there. And then so if I tap on that, it's going to link me to pay for the subscription. But we don't have to do that because we are a Port Moody patron. So we can get out of there and then we can find a way to connect our app to the paper. So let's go back to the main screen. You can see at the bottom corner there is the sign in button. So to be able to link this, you do have to create an account with them. So what you can do is create an account, ignore the little circle they say libraries and groups right in the middle there because that doesn't work. So ignore it, but either use email, for example, to connect and create an account or, sign into your connected with Facebook or Google or Twitter. But we are going to use email as the option. So if you don't have an account yet, click on the don't have an account sign up button right at the bottom and click on that sign up link and then fill in the information and then away we go. So now that I have signed in magically, you can see at the bottom left corner, it sets like a different icon. It doesn't ask me to sign in anymore. It said N, which I think stands for like my account name or something. And so there's an N there. So now you got to sign in, but you can see as I go through this, nothing has changed. It still doesn't see the coffee cup because it still doesn't know that I'm from Port Moody just yet. So let's do that. So what we're going to do is to open our browser on your tablet or your phone. So in this case, I'm using an iPad. So I'm going to open up Safari. And so now I'm going to go to the library website, again, portmoodylibrary.ca. And then once we load it, remember we go into the menu on the top right corner, so the 3 lines there. If we tap on that and then go to borrow, so tap on borrow and then go to magazines and newspapers. And you will see the same page we were on earlier when we try to get into Press Reader. So go down a little bit and you'll see the Press Reader link right there. So tap on that. Tap on it, Virginia. All right, we're here. So tap on that, and again, it shows that screen where you have to put in your library card number and your PIN number, which is the last 4 digits of your phone number. So that helps them realize that you are from Port Moody. So we'll get that authentication going. And once you have done that, now we're still on the browser, right? So we're not in the app yet. We're still on the browser, but you can see that we're connected. So on the browser, we're connected. You can see that our logo is there. You can see that you got complimentary access for 2 days. And this process, you do have to renew every 3 days, basically. That is sort of the tricky part of this, is that 3 days afterwards, you have to go through this process again, which is a little annoying, but it is what it is. So you can see that we are connected. So what we're going to do is close off this box. And once we close the box off, you will see on the top, or even now you can see on the top of the screen there, again on the top sort of left corner, you will see that there is that coffee cup again. So you can see the green coffee cup. That means that you are connected to the library, and you'll be able to do all the things. You'll be able to read newspapers. So if you're interested in well, maybe I don't even need the app, I can just read newspapers right here. You are right. You can just read newspapers right in your browser. But if you're interested in doing the app version, that you can, we'll show you what is the next thing to do. So scrolling here, all the newspapers. Oh, and yes, I think this is the part I got distracted by that Modern Dog magazine that I just have to open up and take a look. And this is the one I think some of the magazines, depending on how frequently they are published, there's different issues available, but I don't think they go back as far. And I am going to show you my favorite page right now, which is that Bulldog. Look at that Bulldog. It is amazing. And I think this is when I decided I should get out of here, because the Bulldog is too cute and I'm going to be getting really distracted by those dogs. So I got out of the magazine and continue on the screen tutorial to show you how you can actually connect. So what you want to do is to now sign in with the same account, the one that we just created in our app. So use the same account information to sign in. Okay, so you can see the email address and password. You can check that stay signed in box so that you don't have to do this every time. And now I am signed in. You can see on the top it said nickname 161 blah blah blah. It's just a randomly assigned name to us, because I haven't actually messed with my account and put in the name or anything. So it's just going to assign a name to me. But it doesn't matter. We are we have got an account. We got a coffee mug. Now we can go back, get out of the browser, go back into our app. And this time, voila, you can see now that it knows I've signed in, it is going to show me the same screen that we see, that we love, showing that we have free access. And you can see that with the coffee mug is there, the logo is there, so you now know we are connected. So on the top, I believe it's the top right corner there, you can see the coffee mug lurking behind right there. There you go. So that is how you would connect your app to your library card, and then so that on your device it knows that you are in. So right now I'm in the Vancouver Sun again, and you can see at the bottom there it said read, and then a little thing pops up, say brought to you by Port Moody Public Library, instead of asking you to show payment options. So you now know that this is available to you, and you can now use the app to read the paper, and ignore that thing that, let's say, order is not asking you to pay for it, but that's just the screen. I guess they never changed the text, so ignore that. You don't have to pay for anything. So yeah, so there is a newspaper, and I'm just going through this is how you would look for newspapers, the same kind of idea as what we look just now at on the desktop. You can see the little green highlights highlighting the headline, so you know that those are, you can tap on that. And I was going to try to find an article to show you what it looks like, and of course everything is so depressing, so I'm just scrolling through this and trying to figure out what is a nice article. And I remember in the front page there is one called Brunch Bites. Brunch Bites sounds like a nice thing to read right now, so I tap on that, and then again tapping on the title, you're going to get the text view. So this is the one makes it a little easier. It's formatted easier for reading on a screen. So that's what I got right there. Same options you can see right next to the headline. There's always those 3 dots, right? You can tap on the 3 dots and you get the same options. On the bottom left corner, you can change the view back. So right now we're in the text view. You can change it back to page view by clicking on the icon that has sort of like an open newspapers with the two sort of rectangles side by side. So if you tap on that, you get back to the page view, which is this one right there. So you're back into your normal newspaper view. And that, I believe, is how you can connect your app and read newspapers using the app on your phone or your tablet. Works on both, works on Android, works on Apple devices. So that is my video. I'm going to close that off and zooming in, zooming out, another way to do that. All right, so I'm going to close this video off and get back to Liz. And hi, Liz.
Hi.
How was that?
That was great. That was amazing recall for that video.
I'm like, wait, why aren't you like, what were you talking about? Like, why are you taking so long to skip to the next step? When is that box gonna show up? You know, never apparently. So yeah. So that is Press Reader. So hope you try it out at home and take a look and see, read all the newspapers for free from the library. If you need a library card, do go to our website and fill out the e-card form. We will get you a number as soon as we can. And that, I think, is it for today.
One more thing, one small thing. What about that newspaper that's really popular, the national newspaper that
that one.
Access restrictions?
I'm curious. Do you think they've made it available now? Okay, you explain. I'm gonna go check.
Okay, so there's a national newspaper that many Canadians are familiar with called the Globe and Mail. It's been very popularly requested at the library to be accessible on Press Reader. But a year or so ago, I think, the publication decided that they did not want to have as broad access to the publication, meaning I believe we weren't able to access it on the app. You had to be physically at a hotspot, as the operator calls it, at the library, accessing the newspaper through Press Reader.
That's right. Yeah. So if you're on a library computer, it's connected. They know that it's a library computer. Then you'll be able to read Globe and Mail using Press Reader, but not when you're remotely trying to get it at home. And I just checked while Liz was explaining, and it is still not available. So if you try to search, like, it's interesting because Globe and Mail show up before we sign in. But once we sign in, Globe and Mail doesn't even show up as a choice anymore. So only in the paid version, unfortunately. So that is unfortunate. But there are thousands other newspapers to choose from. So try one of those out. And that's it.
Now that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Now that's it. Okay. All right. So we will see you again next week. And make sure if you have comments or questions about it, or if something doesn't work, do leave a note on Facebook. It's one of the comments, and we will get back to you. Or you can email the library or call the library. So many different ways to get a hold of us, and we will try our best to help you out. And answer any questions that you have about any of the things that we have. So not just newspapers, but if you have other questions about ebooks and all of that, feel free to contact us. So until next week, have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. I keep saying today. I keep saying tonight as in for today, even though it's only like 2:30. So I don't know. Yeah, it's everything just blend into one day now. So yeah. All right. So we'll see you again next week for another edition of Tech Thursday. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.